in our geography optional, one more topic is Indian soils. This soil topic is very important for the optional as well as general studies also. Those who are watching online, I will be showing some of the questions, I mean previous year questions, and how to attempt these questions, and what kind of content should be presented on the paper, and how to score better marks in this. For example, you are writing 10 mark question, draw the diagram, 2 diagrams, and score 6.5 to 7 mark. Okay, and 15 mark question, 3 diagrams, and 20 mark question, 3 to 4 diagrams. And here I will be giving some ideas how to add the paper 1 geography points in the paper 2 in the optional part, and how to add the current affairs like sustainable development goals, Brazzaville Declaration. You might have heard that Brazzaville Declaration. It is related with the peatlands and desertification and UNCCD, and these kind of points you must add. Otherwise, you will not be scoring more marks in the subject. So try to add current affairs, conventions related with the whether binding or non-binding agreement, how it is impacting on the, for example, anthropogenic factor. What is anthropogenic factor? Man related, man induced. Because of our greed or need, we are cutting the forest, our urbanization is going on, our mining. So different forms we are destructing the soil. So soil is losing its capacity, its life, and it endanger the not only soil health and biodiversity also. For that purpose, you need to protect this soil, and we will be learning all these points comprehensively here. Try to understand how I am going to interconnect these sustainable development goals, desertification and Brazzaville Declaration and UNCCD, United Nations Convention on Combat Desertification. These agreements you must add here. So topic is simple. You can also use these points in the general studies also, optional point. There is no difference, but bit elaboration here. Try to use. So Indian soil. What is soil? First of all, how soil will be forming, and what are the factors influencing the soil formation? Is it man role is required for the formation of the soil, or generally they are naturally forming the soil? And here, what is the disintegration of the soil and decomposition of the soil? And how many types of soil present in the country? In the paper 2, we have to write about the Indian context. In the paper 1, we have to write global context. So here we are dealing more or less in the paper 2 Indian soils. We are having the 8 types of the soils. Those soils we will be learning each and everything here. So before dealing that topic, I will be showing previous year questions so that you will be able to understand what kind of questions are being asked in here, right? So these are some of the questions the previous year. Just carefully observe so that you will be able to attempt the question. The first question is examine. See the statement: examine the origin and characteristics of the. You have to write about the origin as well as characteristics. If you write about the origin and characteristics of the soils of the North Indian plain. So here only confining the question is itself the North Indian plain. Origin one side and characteristics. How the soils of the North Indian plain originated and what are the characteristics of the North Indian plain. You have to answer this much only. You should not write peninsular soil here because the question is not demanding that peninsular region or northeast region, right? So you must understand this. Then North Indian soil, North Indian plain means mostly alluvial soils present, other soils also present. We will be learning that one. Second question: discuss the formation and their distribution. You have to write about the formation and their distribution of the major soil types of India. Means you have to write all the comprehensively 8 types of soils are present. You have to write about these soils, 8 types of soils present in the country. You have to write. Mean comprehensive. It's a 20-mark question. Then explain the causes of the, again, causes of the soil erosion. Cause is the 4 point, soil erosion and occurring over extensive areas in certain parts of India. Here again mentioning that soil erosion is occurring, that's fact, but that is occurring more in the certain parts of the India. You have to confine again, certain parts of India. The demand of the question, see, already clearly mentioned that certain parts, certain pockets of the country, the soil erosion is occurring, and what are the reasons or causes for the soil erosion in the particular or certain parts of India, right? And what measures would you suggest for solving this problem? So what are the steps to be taken to control the soil erosion, particularly the certain parts of the country? See how the question is confined, it is limited in the context of, you should not go beyond that, because even you are writing also no answer, right? No mark you will be given. Then explain the characteristics. Again, see, you can see here fourth question and first question, characteristics and productivity. So productivity of regard or black soil of India, right? So here most of the time in the exam, origin, formation, characteristics, productivity and causes of the soil erosion. These kind of steps, and what are the steps to be taken to control soil erosion. So if you understand these kind of terms, then very easily you will be able to attempt the question, right? So these are the some of the previous year questions. Over 15 times on the soil topic question has been asked, right? So we'll be learning before these are the questions. So I will be explaining the soil topic, then you can attempt this question again and you can show your answer here, right? Now, soil. So if you carefully observe, what is soil? How soil is forming? Soil formation, the disintegration and decomposition of the rock. For example, you are taking any rock here, and this rock will be breaking down, right? This rock will be breaking down in small parts due to what? So, rainfall, wind and other factors, and that will be breakdown. After breaking down, after some time, the soil will be forming. So the formation of the soil, the origin of the soil is called pedogenesis. Genesis means origin, life means destruction, right? I think you might have heard that frontogenesis, frontolysis. Frontogenesis means creation of France. Frontolysis means destruction of France. In the same way, pedogenesis means it's all about the origin and study of the soil. Destruction means, lysis means is the destruction of the soil. Here pedogenesis in the context of the soil, pedology, study about the soil. Here the destruction and decomposition of the soil is the fine thin surface of the earth. It is having very thin surface and it is being influenced by the different factors, right? So before we will be going into the topic, I will be showing some details, then you can learn. So you might have seen that somewhere there is a digging the soil, you are the pit of the land. So if you take the soil from the top to down, you might have seen that layer type, layer, one by layer. So what happened in first layer some color, and second layer other color, third layer other color. And after that, beneath that, underneath that, there is a bedrock or parent rock. So whenever you are seeing in the top layer, different color, then second layer, other color and other color. So different layers are present, different colorization or composition is different. So here, if you take the layer in the horizontal manner, we divide it into 3 layers: horizon A, horizon B, horizon C. Horizon A is the topmost layer. This horizon A is the topmost layer. Mean here, for example, our building, our construction activities, agricultural practice, entire depends on the horizon A. Right? So right now you are standing on the horizon A. Here more organic manner, humus is present, microorganisms are present, the crop cultivation, everything is being done on the horizon A. Try to understand. And humus content more on the horizon layer. You can see in the picture that trees above the horizon, top soil humus. So the soil is the first, I am not saying topmost layer, I am saying not first layer. Topmost layer of the earth is called the horizon A. So below that, horizon B. The horizon B derives its nutrient or organic or humus other material from the horizon A and horizon C. It is a transition layer. You can say this one, transition layer. Mean it is a buffer layer between present it is the A and C. It is derived from the A as well as the C, B horizon. And below that, C horizon is present. The C horizon is the first layer in the soil formation. In the soil formation is the horizon C. The horizon C is not having that organic content or humus is present. Here it is not having, it is forming by disintegration and decomposition of the rock. So it is forming by layer, one by one it is forming. So horizon C horizon is not having that much nutrients and other. And just beneath that, the bedrock, it is also called bedrock, parent rock. So parent rock is the source of the soil formation. You see here, A layer, B layer and C layer. The arrangement of the layers is called soil profile. This definition also has been asked in May. So define soil profile and explain about the soil profile. So how many soil profile arrangement of the layers are called soil profile? We are having 3 layers, horizon A, B and C. A is the topmost, B is the transition, C is the lowest, and which is the first formation of the layer is C. Beneath that, underneath that, bedrock or parent rock. This is the base for that, right? This is all about the soil profile of the layer. Soil profile of the, already it has been asked in the exam, 10 mark question. You must understand this. Just divide into 3 layers, first, second, third, and soil profile. What is soil profile? Profile. For example, when you appear that interview, your profile means entire things. So here 3 layers is called soil profile. You must understand this one. Then and what are the factors influencing the soil formation? Soil formation in Indian condition. So here we are having parent material. I said already explained that parent material. Parent is the bedrock, and second is the relief. Relief means like slope and slant tarah. And climate is having rainfall and temperature and natural vegetation. And one more point also you can write here, 5th point, time plays vital role. Time plays vital role in the formation of the soil. If you carefully observe the parent rock, for example, if you observe the Maharashtra Deccan Plateau, basalt rock is present. Basalt rock gives to black soil. In the question also, rigor or reguda soil. Reguda word is a Telugu word. From reguda derived the rigor. Rigor is the black soil which is famous for the cotton cultivation. Now, if you parent rock carefully observe in India, so different parts of the country we are having the parent rock. And relief, for example, if you take here and here, so here more slant is present. So either here wind or water plays vital role in the erosion of the soil. because there is slant slope. And when it comes to here, it is a gentle slope. Gentle slope. On gentle slope, soil formation is very easy. Right? Soil formation is very easy. Right? So always the gentle slope leads to for the formation of the soil, and steep slope causes for the soil erosion. What is the soil erosion? The erosion of the top layer by the air or wind. So I am not saying only air or wind. Other anthropogenic factor also plays vital role. Not only anthropogenic factor, animals also, and other rodents also, insects also in the soil erosion matter. Right? So relief also plays vital role in the soil erosion formation as well as erosion also, and climate, rainfall and temperature. What is rainfall here? For example, if you take the Western Ghats, steep slope, right, and more rainfall, soil erosion is more, vegetation is also more, flora and fauna is more, diversity, biodiversity huge, right? And temperature is also present, rainfall is also present. If you take the Rajasthan region, in the western part, more temperature, very less rainfall, sparse vegetation. What happened? Bush, herbs, small plants will be growing which are acclimatized, are habituated with the hot condition, and especially the desert condition. Right? So here, temperature also plays vital role. For example, if more temperature, soil will be fragile. The moisture will be evaporated. If moisture is evaporated, what happens? The soil will be disintegrated. You cannot grow over that particular area, and you have to import the food grain from other parts of the country, right? And if it is not possible, other parts of the country, you have to import from the other countries also. When you are importing from the other countries, obviously you have to pay in the foreign exchange, right? So you are losing your foreign currency for the food security purpose, right? And rainfall. You might have seen that some parts of the country, northeast region, peninsula region, now in the Himachal Pradesh, too much flood. Past, after 40 years, more rainfall in the Himachal Pradesh, especially North India. See, now over 207 meter, the breach is crossed in the Yamuna river, especially now Delhi in danger situation. So why it is happening suddenly? Why rainfall is occurring? Because of climate change. What is climate change? What are the factors are influencing the climate change? If rainfall more comes, what about the floodplains? If floodplains eroded, what kind of situation are occurring over there? And what about the life of the people? Right? Different factors you have to interlink, because whatever you are observing in the daily life all come under the part of the geography. Right? So rainfall, if you take Rajasthan and Punjab, Haryana, less rainfall, but sometimes heavy rainfall, that is a different matter, but in general I am saying. So what are the factors? Rainfall also plays vital role in the formation of the soil. Then natural vegetation. For example, if you take the Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Northeast region, and the Terai region, in the Himalayan region, Terai region, so plants will be shedding their leaves. After shedding, the leaves will be decomposition and disintegration takes place, and they form the organic content and humus, and that leads to the formation of the soil. Means vegetation also plays a pivotal role in the formation of the soil, right? Then time. For example, right now what we are seeing the soil, it is not new. It is being formed from the years and years, thousands of years. The soil is changing. The soil color, composition, everything is being changed, right? So if you take the these factors, what are the factors? It is also 10 mark question in the mains, right? Parent medium, climate, relief, natural vegetation, time. These are the some of the factors, right? You can also write these points in the exam. Then, so here, if you carefully observe how many types of the, right, how many types of the soils we are having. So we are having 8 types of soils: alluvial soil, black soil, and red and yellow soil, and laterite soils, and peaty soils, forest soils, arid soils, and desert soils. Or you can say saline and alkaline soils. 8 types of soils we are having currently, the major classification in the country. If you take which soil is the highest in the country, so you know that alluvial soil. Why alluvial soil? How soil is forming the alluvial soil? Because any place where the rainfall or wind eroding, it is taken by to the lower region, from the higher region or upper region to the lower region, bringing by the rain or wind, and finally they will be deposited. And if you take the North Ganga plain, the first question, North Ganga plain is having alluvial soils. In India, 40% of the soil, 40% of the soil belongs to alluvial soil, and which is intensively cultivating soil in the country, alluvial soil. क्या बोल रहा हूँ? And which is producing large quantity of the food grains on the particular soil, alluvial soil. The soil also, you can say that it is a immature soil, azonal soil, Burwara soil, and transported soil, depositional soil. See how many terms we are using here. 1 minute. Right? So different. Why we are calling transported soil? Because they are transported by the either wind or water. Why we are calling depositional soil? Because they are deposited by the river or wind in the lower region from the upper to lower. Right? Azonal soil. Why we are calling azonal soil? What is the difference between zonal and azonal soil? Zonal soil is in particular place they are present, they are not being eroded. But when it comes to azonal soil, they are being eroded by the wind or river. That's why we are calling azonal soil. Sir, you said that immature soil also. What is immature soil? They are yet to stabilize. Always they are taken by the river or water and wind somewhere place. But if you take the black soil, they are more or less confined to a particular region. That's why we are calling mature soil. Peninsular soil more or less mature. I am not saying alluvial soil, right? And if you take the alluvial soils in the North Ganga plain, the question has been asked, right? So here, if you take the upper Ganga plain, right, and middle Ganga plain, then lower Ganga plain. Upper Ganga plain, and middle Ganga plain, and lower Ganga plain. So in the upper Ganga plain and middle Ganga plain, what happens? In the upper Ganga plain, more calcareous material present. Calcareous nothing but boulders, cobbles, conker, more present. From the upper Ganga plain to river will be moving or flowing towards the east side. From west to, you can see here, west to east side it is flowing. Here more cobbles and conker more present in the upper Ganga plain. They are blowing or moving to east side, their size will be come down. What I am saying? Their size will be come down. I am not saying that there is no conker. Conker is present, but the size is small. The upper Ganga plain, middle Ganga plain, what happened? You can see bhangar and khadar types of soil. What I am saying here? Bhangar. And one more is khadar. So what is bhangar here? Bold soil. In the upper Ganga plain is bold soil. Khadar is they are brought by the river, right? That's what we are calling new soil. They are above floodplain. And they are below floodplain. Right? Which one? Khadar soil. And they are in dark color. They are in pale color. Calcareous, but the size of the canker and calcareous material in Khadar is very small, here more. And the sand content prelims question this one, sand content decrease from the west to east. More sand here present, the content of the sand, and when it comes to the east, that is decreasing, right? You must understand this one. Bhangar and Khadar, old soil, new soil, and they are above floodplains, here below floodplains, and they are in dark color, they are in pale color. So now tell me, which soil receives more rainfall, Khadar or Bhangar? Obviously Khadar, because the wind is moving like this, right? So lower region, right? The Khadar will be receiving, and when it is reaching to the Bhangar region, the rainfall will be come down. The sand content decreases from the west to east. The rainfall decreases from the east to west. It is also preliminary question, right? You must understand this one. Now, the alluvial soils present not only in the North Ganga plain, but also in the Brahmaputra region. You can see here Brahmaputra region, Brahmaputra valley, and west coastal plains, and east coastal plains, and Gujarat and Rajasthan, and some parts of the country also alluvial soils present. Sir, how this alluvial soils present in the west coastal plain, east coastal plain? Because of the rivers carrying. Rivers carried this alluvial soils and deposited in the coast. Both the sides alluvial soils in the west and east, right? This alluvial soils is having more potash and less phosphorus. That's why we are using more fertilizers and pesticides for the growing of the crops, because they are being eroded by the water or wind, right? If you take in the summer season, you might have seen that Loo. What? Loo. L-O-O, it is a local wind. In the summertime, the wind is blowing and they are taking moisture from the soil and making it or rendering fragile soil, especially the alluvial soil. You can also write this point, alluvial soil. So here the crops can be cultivated like rice, wheat, maize, cotton, and other crops also, and barley, and number of crops can be cultivated in the alluvial soil because it is a very fertile soil. Most fertile soils in the world, alluvial soil. You must understand this one. Bhangar and Khadar, वो 10 मार्क का क्वेश्चन भी आपको एग्जाम में आया था. Try to understand what I am conveying here. Then black soil. So what is black soil here? Black soil is also called cotton soils or rigger soil or regular soil. Because regular is the Telugu word, from the Telugu word rigger soil came, and from that black soil here more basalt, titanium and magnesium is present. If you take the black soil, here you might have seen that sometimes there is a like someone plowing तरह, someone में क्या रहता है, it is a crack between the soil. Black soil में crack रहेगा. When it is cracked, because in the summer time what happened, due to more temperature, there will be crack. So moisture is being evaporated. When moisture is evaporated, oxygen penetration through the gap, and from the upper part of the crack, and the particles will be falling in the crack to conserve the moisture. That's why the black soil is also called the self-ploughing soil. The black soil is also called self-ploughing soil. This is also preliminary statement. And here, titanium, magnesium, other minerals are present. Potash also present. Phosphorus and other nitrogen is lacking. And cotton is intensively cultivable like commercial crops. Commercial crops are being cultivated in this region. The second highest soil in the country is the black soils. And during rainy season, the soil will be wet and that will be shrink. And you cannot plow during wet season. That's why the farmers ploughing before the monsoon, so that you can get ready the crop, field. And it is especially suitable for the cotton and groundnut also, other crops also. And nowadays more the black soil we are cultivating the sugarcane, especially Maharashtra. Maharashtra is the leading producer of the sugarcane now. So always it is interchanging Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. There is a stiff competition between the Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra, especially the black soil. Black soil, they are having here, black soil is not there, but here black soil is present, but more yield from the black soil. So you can also write this point. By Maharashtra exceeding or growing sugarcane, especially in the black soil, you can write these examples. And self-ploughing soil. Here iron, titanium, more minerals are present in this soil. Right? So you can also write those points. And red soils. Red soil, it is the third highest soil in the country. The red soil is also called, red soils are, you can say here, yellow soils. So tell me, why we are calling red soils or yellow soils? Because the iron oxide more present in that soil. I am not saying content of the iron, it is the diffusion of the iron. Diffusion means high to low, like powder tarah. Diffusion of the iron oxide. You must understand. It is also prelim question. So if you are reading the geography, try to connect in the option paper to optional as well as the GS paper also. Right? So iron oxide more diffusion content, not concentration. And why we are calling yellow soils? When the red soils and mixed up with the water, it is called a hydrated soil. That's why we are calling yellow soil. And generally they are more present in the crystalline and metamorphic rocks. Crystalline and metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks. Right? You must understand. Here red soil, you can also cultivate different crops. And red soil, if you take the, especially Tamil Nadu, you can see here, Tamil Nadu, Andhra and northeast region, you can see here, northeast region, the red soil is more dominantly present here. Right? Crystalline and metamorphic rocks is having the red soils or yellow soils. Diffusion of iron content, not concentration of the iron. You must understand. Then laterite and lateritic soils. What is laterite? Here, if you carefully observe the latter, means brick. So it is a brick soil. Now you are constructing home or building anything, you are using the laterite soil, not alluvial black or red. So laterite soils we are using for the brick brick formation. Right? Laterite means brick. This word first time used by the Buchanan. Buchanan scientist used this laterite in the Malabar region when he visited to India, especially the Malabar region in the Kerala. What happened? He found that this is not soil, this is a rock. And later realized that actually it is not rock, it is a soil, but perched to sunlight. Because of scorching sunlight, moisture is evaporated and more rainfall, more temperature, this soil became the brick. That's why he called laterite and lateritic soils. The laterite and lateritic soils more or less present. The top of the hills. For example, you take the hill, so here it is present. Any region, if you take the Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, the Vindhyas, Satpura and the Northeast region, on top of the place, wherever high temperature and high rainfall, in this region, laterite and lateritic soils are present. They are not suitable for the cultivation of the crop. If you add the fertilizers, pesticides to the agriculture, especially you can grow like cashew nut. It is also prelims question. Cashew nut you can grow in this laterite and lateritic soils. And in the laterite soil, when rainfall comes, and lime and silica are leached away and iron oxide and aluminum are left out. You must remember these points. When iron oxide and lime are leached away, lime and silica, what happened? So there is decreasing the quantity or quality of the soil. That's why you have to use fertilizer to the soil for the growth of the crop or growing or thriving of the crop. That's why the laterite soils is having potash but not phosphorus. Right? So this is the importance of the laterite and lateritic soils. And then forest and mountain soil. Where is forest present? In the Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Vindhya, Satpura, Northeast region and the Himalayan region. Wherever forest is present, the forest leaves will be shedding. When their forest leaves is shedding, especially in the peninsular region, they are easily disintegrated and decomposed by the microorganisms. Right? They are disintegrated and finally for the formation of the soil. But when it comes to the Himalayan region, the disintegration and decomposition is very slow. The reason being that the cold condition, the disintegration process is very slow and the formation of the soil is like acidic type of the soil. Right? You must understand this one. And here humus is present, but it leads to the humus acidic content of the soil. And arid and desert soil. Arid and desert soil is also present in the most parts of the country. The reason being that, especially in the interior region of the country, it is a landlocked area. If you take more or less in the Rajasthan western part, high temperature, very low rainfall. So temperature exceeding rainfall. So when temperature is more, what happens? More evaporation. More evaporation means more vegetation is losing their moisture, evapotranspiration. And the nocturnal fauna will be present. What is fauna? Flora, fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animal. So these two kind of things are present here. And here what happens? You cannot cultivate. If you want to cultivate, you have to use labor cost is more and input cost is also more. And if you use the water and fertilizers and other things, the yield will be high. That's why the Ganga canal, Indira Gandhi canal, India's longest canal, constructed from the Haryana in the Ganganagar region, Indira Gandhi canal, for the creating or providing the conducive opportunities for the agriculture purpose, especially in the arid and desert soils. Right? You must understand. Here also conquer and other things also present. And next, then saline and alkaline soils. What is saline and alkaline soils here? Especially Punjab, Haryana and low-lying region. In Punjab and Haryana, what happens? Punjab, Haryana में क्या हो रहा? And rainfall less, temperature is more, providing irrigation facilities, and whatever the nutrients present beneath the surface of the earth and coming and depositing over the surface of the earth. It is a kind of capillary action. Through capillary action, they are depositing over the surface of the earth. When they are depositing over the surface of the earth, what happens? And they are acting as the layer and they are stopping the penetration of the water into the soil. Even ground roots cannot be developed. Even developed, they cannot penetrate into the soil properly. That's why the capillary action is the biggest hindrance of the growth of the crops. Right? You must understand this one. And saline and alkaline soils, especially they are having sodium, magnesium and potassium. These minerals are more present. They are hindering the growth of the soil. That's why the government of India and state government agriculture scientists are advising the farmers to use the lime. Lime को हम use करना पड़ेगा. You can also write in the way farmer में आप लिख सकते हो lime. Lime should be added to the saline and alkaline so that the salinity will be come down. Try to use the salt saline tolerant crops can be used here. Rice, right? Jowar, bajra and other crops also you can also use saline and alkaline soils. Capillary action very important. Try to use that point. Then peaty and marshy soils. Peaty wherever low-lying region, generally here in the rainy season the peaty lands will be covered with the water. Once it is exposed to the sunlight, I mean especially winter season and summer season, we are cultivating the rice. When we are cultivating the rice, the methane will be emitted from the organic content of the peaty lands, which is causing the climate change, greenhouse gas emission. That's why there is a declaration, Brazzaville Declaration. Brazzaville Declaration. So what is Brazzaville Declaration here? Brazzaville Declaration all about the Republic Congo in the African continent and Indonesia to protect the PT lands. It is the largest or biggest sequestration of the carbon dioxide. If you protect these lands, so carbon sequestration mean be developed and the carbon dioxide emission will be come down. That's why the global level Brazzaville Declaration is present for the protection of the PT land. You can also write. And if soil health is good, that's why government of India launched soil health card, sustainable development goal, goal number SDG goal कौन सा बता सकते हैं हम इधर? SDG goal number 2, sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is very, very important. If you cultivate agriculture in the sustainable manner, the soil health will be present good. Otherwise, soil health सर्वनाश हो जाएगा. That's why government of India imported urea, है ना, and soil health card and planting, vegetation, rotation of the crops, vegetation is growing more, agroforestry, these kind of steps taken by the government. And if soil is not having proper nutrients in the soil, what happens? Micronutrients will be absent and you will be consuming, but you will be having deficiency of the micronutrients that leads to the hidden hunger, nothing but lacking the micronutrients in the food. Finally, you will be affected with the diseases. And you have to approach the hospital. You have to go hospital. Then doctor will be recommending some medicine for the nutrient purpose. Again, you have to pay there. So, what is the need when you are losing these kind of nutrients from the soil and leading them hidden hunger? That's why we are having SDG goal, sustainable agriculture, and nutrition also here. You can also write nutrition. Nutrition also part of the SDG goal 2. And goal number 13, climate change. Goal number 14 is the climate change of the ocean. And goal number 15 is the desertification. SDG goal 15 क्या बोल रहा है? Desertification. The desertification means the expanding the desert is called the desertification. If you are not practicing the agriculture very properly or maintaining the soil health very properly, that leads to the desertification. Future generation will be facing by the food security and the other problem. And people has to migrate to the agriculture sector, to manufacturing sector or secondary sector, then service sector. That's why we have to take steps to protect the soil and soil health. For that purpose, farmers should be given proper advice and nutrients and fertilizers and pesticides. I think you must know that there is a cancer train from the beginner, which one? This one, Punjab to beginner, the Rajasthan ko train aata hai. In that, most of the patients are affected with the cancer. Cancer, they are affected. So what happens? Because they are using more pesticides. When they are pesticiding or the spraying or the crop and all, they are inhaling that pesticide. That is affected with when they are inhaling, what happens? That is leading to changing the body system, finally leading to the cancer. That's why there is a cancer train, especially from the Punjab to Rajasthan. You must understand. You can also write this point. The green revolution especially done where the rainfall as well as the fertile soil determines the plant growth. Apart from the water, soil is the very, very, very much important. You cannot cultivate the green revolution in the desert region or saline and alkaline region because they are rendering the productivity is less. That's why the green revolution also one of the reason for the increasing or growing of the saline and alkaline soil through capillary action. They are depositing the conquer whatever the nutrients over the top of the layer. Right? These are the some of the points. And after some time, I will be explaining other things. You can also see and characteristics of the soils, problems of the Indian soils and soil erosion. Okay? And what are the human factors? Everything. See here, I have given the bullet point, and we have to explain soil salinity, alkalinity, effects of soil salinity and alkalinity, everything in the comprehensive manner. I will be taking a small break. Then we will be explaining everything. Okay, na? Thank you so much.